Uh,
TV
there was
series.
one guy who played him on the Drew Carey show, but that was a dream sequence. That doesn't count. 5, 10 minutes.
No, that does not
This
count.
man played him twice.
No,
The
no,
last man
no.
played him twice.
And I was awake.
Welcome, Garrett Craig.
Hey, yo. Thank you, Krystel. Thank you, Dean.
So, wow, thank you for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure, you guys. I've been watching your show. I like it. You guys high tech. It's fun. Laughs. You guys cover so much. It's interesting.
Thank you, thank you. So let's get started because I know we spoke yesterday, Garrett, and we had a blast. I mean, we usually my pre-interviews go like 5, 10 minutes, and we talk for 2.5 hours.
We should have just set the tape in.
We should have taped it. I know.
Yeah.
Just replay it, later date. Behind the scenes, pre-interview. Like, see, that should have been a thing. Now we know. Now we know.
Some stuff you have to repeat.
That stuff is always on the cutting room floor.
Right? Just gotta leave it there, just in case.
So let's start. How'd you get the part?
How'd I get the part? Okay. Here's the dealio. I started by doing all kinds of stand-up. I was working Troubadour. I worked Ice House, the Comedy Store. But then back then it was Sammy Shore before Mitzi took over. And I found out that I had a facility for voices, and I could copy their. So I started selling material off, as they come off stage, and it was easier than going on stage and doing it. So I had a friend that later on, as I worked out as a producer I worked as pilots and worked scripts for him. He got the script for Legends. And Bill Carruthers, the producer, said, "Boy, I could use some punch up." He says, "I got a guy who could talk to you. We could work something out. Maybe, I don't know." So he hands it to me. He says, "See if you can do it. If you can click this up, see what you can do with it. So I'll get you an appointment." So I said, "Cool." So I wrote all night long, trying not to change the theme because you can't change the ending, the text, but you can do the lines. So I go in. And Carruthers isn't there. It's Chris Darley, who's the director, right? And he looks at me, goes, "Are you G?" I'm going, "Yeah." And he goes, "What you got?" And so he's looking at, he's spinning the pages, and he's looking at me, and he's spinning the pages, but he's looking at me more than he's spinning the pages. And he goes, "Come this way." And he starts this run through the boom mics, the scrims, and over cables, and like Stevie Wonder, he's not even looking, and I'm wondering how he's doing. He's good. I feel like the village virgins being led to the edge of the volcano, right? But so real more, but a little high. I'm freaking because he doesn't seem like he's paying attention to what I'm hoping he's paying attention to, because he's not even chuckling or anything. And we get back to where the casting director is, Lee Gardino, and he looks over the pages at me, and now he's really doing a full-on hard glare. And I'm freaking like it's a pedophile thing going on him. He looks like a T-Rex, and I'm wearing a meat hat. I'm going... He kicks open the door, and there's Lee Gardino sitting in there, and he goes in, he pushes me in front of her, goes, and look, he goes, like Vanna White, he goes, "You think this will work?" And she goes, "Yeah." I have no idea what they're talking about. I had no idea how long production. I didn't know where the production was in this thing. And I am like Billy Batson. "Okay, boys, like my job, And so she says, "You reading this?" I said, "Yeah, I've been reading it for the last, week, and I rewrote the thing." So she sits me down, we do a read. She says, "Let's do your lines." So we do my lines, and she goes, "I get it." She says, "I want you to go over to wardrobe." And I said, "Wardrobe, will you writers wear uniforms here?" She goes, "Just do me a favor, go to wardrobe, I'll call forward." Next thing I know, I'm in skinny red jeans, all from head to toe, with a lightning bolt on my chest, standing with Elton John's napkin around my neck. And listen, my little sister's tutu, and I'm going, "Okay, what is this?" And she goes, "Here's the deal. Set's closed. Script is locked. We're shooting tomorrow. You want to be in makeup at 4 o'clock? You're Marvel." So I literally walked in as Billy Batson and ended up going out as Captain Marvel. I said, "Look, sir," because I didn't trust him. We already had a thing going, because he was he didn't like me rewriting the stuff. And so I looked at her and I said, "Let me understand this. You want one-liners from a guy who's dressed like a Cape Potato." And without a beat, she goes, "You know what? I've even got some yellow cheese boots that are just going to so fit that."
Ah, jeez. Oh, it was just one of those serendipitous moments where just
That is
it all just fell into place.
insane. That is insane.
It was absolutely. I feel so sorry because there's so many people out there that like live and breathe and understand Marvel, and their heart is for who he is. You know, you and I talked about this, Dean. The context of, you know, the metaphor for, you know, for good and the underdog and all those things. And I know some people are going, oh, and this schmuck walks in the door and gets Marvel. Okay, how does that work? So
Who was supposed to play him then? Who didn't show?
I don't know. I never knew.
I mean, somebody.
I don't know.
Imagine that guy just, we're filming tomorrow. Sorry, we got a replacement. Or later today, you're out.
You're out. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
And that was a two-parter, right? Wasn't it?
Two-parter, yeah. I was there the next morning. I was up like at 4:00 in the morning in makeup, and the next morning, let's see if you can see this puppy. The next morning.
Oh, there you are, right in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm going across the street at 5:00 in the morning. You know,
Jeez.
after making. Can you see that nonsense?
Yeah.
That guy's swerving. That guy's actually swerving off because he sees this, you know, guy in his red tutu, and and the first thing I get is from some truck driver goes by and goes, "Yo, Juan, what happened? You lose your bowl?" And some lady slides by in her vet. She slides her window. She goes, "Oh, darling, please." Computer dating, it's not going to work, really. And I was like, I got to get out of the middle of the road. So I'm like, running to the other curb. I go to the curb, and this guy hits his brakes. He's in this convertible thing. And he gets up over the window and goes, "Oh, no, this is not going to work. This is not going to work at all. You're standing in the middle of the road. You're going to learn how to accessorize." I said, you know what? I'm fine. No, you are not fine. You're standing at 5:00 in the morning in your red Spanx, and you have no idea what you're doing. I don't maybe come on and slap you because I will slap you. Okay, I go, okay. I just need to go to the set. So then I march over onto the set, and all the guys are hanging out. They got Altman and they got Gorshin. All these guys are riffing and playing off each other, and I had my first taste of Jeff Altman, who is like crunk on crack. This guy, when he works, he's like mad dogging you every second of the minute. He doesn't play with his comedy. I mean, his hands are going and his eyes are going, his fit's topping, and he's just waiting. You know, he's like a lion with his tail on fire, going through a herd of zebras. He is like out for something to get you, and he's looking at when he gets up in your face. He looks like a Doberman, and he's got this smirk on his face because it's a Doberman who's off the chain, and he's just figuring out. He's waiting for you to figure out he's off the chain because the chase is going to start. And he takes this wand. He got this really cool wand with fiberglass and everything on it. It looked really cool. And he puts it in my face and he goes, "You know, I have a brother." I said, "No, I didn't know you had a brother." "Yes, I have a brother." And he says, "He's crazy." I said, "I'm sorry." "No, you don't understand. He's crazy, spitting mad crazy. He's wild, chained to the wall crazy, always yelling, screaming, everybody looking at him. And do you know what my family calls him?" And I go, "No." He goes, "The quiet one." Okay, that's lunch. That'll be lunch, everybody. We'll just be moving along.
Breakfast?
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Croissants over at catering.
How was it working with Adam West?
Well, let me get to that because I will, but there's a hookup because it has to do with my yellow voodoo boots. It is just like they were the
boots?
Oh, they're awful. They were like solid metal. They were like solid steel, and they just like rigor mortis around my legs. They didn't move. You're an athlete. You know this, Dean. They wouldn't move to the right. They wouldn't move to the left. They were like, bam, like two great big yellow microwaves. And trying to run them or land and try and look like an athlete, no way. And so I tell you that story to tell you this. I'd been ad-libbing a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, here and there. And Bill Carruthers started to get upset with me because over the megaphone or inside the commute system, we'd always hear, "Marvel, please stick to the lines. Please stick to the line." And so Adam would do that to me. He'd lean over and whisper, he'd go, "I'm begging you, please stick to the lines." But he loved it. Gardino loved it. They would encourage me. I said, "Don't stop. You're getting me in trouble." And we had the William Shallert, who was I don't know if you guys remember. You guys are too young to remember this. But he did the Patty Duke show, and he is like a real actor. He is like, we're all newbies, but he is real, and he's dressed up as the Scarlet Cyclone, and he's in a rocking chair, right? And he's rocking back and forth, and the scene is Adam standing up there. He calls him up to give him a watch for his scene, so I'm supposed to help him go up. So Adam goes, and now the Scarlet Cyclone. Scarlet, come on up for your award. And instead of coming up, Charlotte does this incredible slow motion fall out of his rocker. And it's so controlled, it's like a gymnast. The guy's like 60 years old, and he stops right at his nose and then falls over on his side. So I ran over to him and I kneeled down next to him. And Adam goes, is he all right, Marvel? And I said, I don't think so. He's off his rocker. And the whole set went up. And of course, over the intercom, you hear, Marvel, please stick to the lines.